Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Unbettable podcast, the premier spot for all bets that you could ever imagine. You want to talk baseball? We got it. Hockey? We got it. College football? We got it. NBA? We got it. NFL? We got it. Guess what? We got it. I'm Mondo here with my co-host Holmes and my other co-host, Mr. GG3 Gary Gowdy. Boys, how we doing today?
Oh, dude, fantastic. Very happy to be here. Very happy to get this pod rolling. Been wanting to get a sports betting podcast out there for so long. So great opportunity right here.
Yeah, happy to be off the Twitter and on the air. Can't wait to see where the shit goes. So let's get it going.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's been something in the works, especially between you and me, Holmes, for a little bit, just trying to figure out how we can kind of hit this little market for sports betting, especially with it coming down south. And then I figured it was more than overdue to get Gary on the air. Figured he'd enjoy it more doing the socials when he's on the air making content. So Gary, officially welcome. I know you were in a lot of interviews on the Barroom Boys. Same with you, Holmes. You were co-hosting for a little bit, but now we officially have our own show. So let's get right into it. Before we get into the football picks, Holmes, a little heartbreaker for you today, huh? Your
Dude,
Tampa Bay Rays.
disappointment is one word. Uh there aren't enough to describe it, man. It has been a painful 2 days of baseball. Rays, I think, had 33 scoreless postseason innings dating back to last year, coming into the second game today. I think we finally broke that in like the seventh inning, the Curtis Mead single. But man, like it's a very disappointing fall off. I thought we ended the season pretty strong. A lot of turmoil going on this season, injuries, outside noise. I mean, starting off as hot as we did, having an incredible dip in the middle of the season. Dude, I could not be more disappointed. So, very frustrated that the Rays are out. I don't have much to root for anymore in the MLB playoffs. But when the ALDS gets kicked off, the NLDS gets kicked off, we're going to be excited to have some bets in on those series. Trying to wait to see how the rest of these wild card games shake out and hopefully get some really nice matchups in the next round. But honestly, we got to move on. I don't want to talk Rays anymore. We got to dive into college football because there's a massive slate this weekend. I'm really excited. College football is one of my favorite sports. So I say we dive right into it.
Yep, let's kick it off with the noon slate on Saturday. I'd say probably the biggest matchup here, LSU Missouri, the number 23 versus number 21. 5-point spread favoring Missouri as an underdog. And the over under is set at 64 and a half. Boys, what kind of picks we feeling today?
You
I'm
said
not,
Talk.
you said favoring Missouri as an underdog. Is Missouri an underdog?
Missouri is
Favoring
an
underdog.
underdog.
Okay, all right. Sorry, you said that. I got confused for a second. I don't know what you're thinking on this one, Gare, but LSU has not been the team I think we've expected them to be this season.
Mm-hmm.
Mizzou's played, I think, a little bit better, if not on par with kind of how they were expected to play. Mizzou at home, though, 5 points is just that's such a tough spread. I hate that number. It's hard to pick which way to lean on that one, but I feel like I want to take the better side of the momentum with Missouri, LSU kind of reeling after that really tough loss against Ole Miss last week. So for me, I'd probably have to lean Mizzou, but not a game I would like to put an actual wager on.
Gare.
yeah, I don't think that spread is anything to be played with. Honestly, that's just too tight, especially against these teams. I'm pretty sure Mizzou is undefeated right now. And LSU just really hasn't been the same team that LSU usually is. I think personally betting the over here is the best bet. You look at LSU last week, they put up 49 points. And what do you say the spread is?
Spread is 5 points. LSU's favor.
Yeah, no, I would definitely take the over in the overall game score here.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck, guys. I hate this matchup. I really do. There's nothing exciting about it. The only thing is it's two ranked teams. Um, if I am to pick a bet, I would do the 5 point spread for Missouri. I just don't see that LSU defense being able to do anything, especially after getting rocked last week. That's like the only bet I can kind of put together. I don't trust the over under in this game. It just doesn't do anything for me. So I'm a one bet man when it comes to this one. Next big game, Oklahoma, Texas. Texas number 3, Oklahoma number 12, 6.5 point spread. Over under set at 60.5. This is going to be a hell of a game, arguably one of the biggest games of the weekend, if not the biggest. Texas, in my eyes, is officially back. That 6.5 spread, I think, is going to be an absolute lock. I don't think Oklahoma is quite the same team that we saw over the past couple of years. With that being said, though, I'm definitely taking the under of 60.5. I think it's going to be a defensive game, despite the fact that Texas has been balling. So, whoever wants to take it next, go for it.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I'm right with you there. I think Texas -6.5 is the move. I think it's important to get that touchdown number right there too. Um, I mean, the only way I see Oklahoma staying in this game is Dylan Gabriel has to ball out, man. He doesn't just have to play good, play well. I mean, dude is gonna have to ball out. And as for Texas, Quinn Ewers, if he just plays the way he's been playing all season, not making very many mistakes, just being efficient with the Texas offense, taking what the defense gives him. I mean, I can totally see this as a spot Texas can roll. I mean, at home too, Red River Shootout. I know how much this is an intense rivalry between the two teams, but I gotta agree with you there, Mondo. I'm not gonna officially say that Texas is back yet. I'm not gonna go there. Maybe in time, but I do like the 6.5 number there. I'll probably be taking Texas to cover that game as well.
Gare?
See, I might have a little hot take here, but I see this game just being an absolute shootout. I don't think any team is going to lead by more than a few, or I mean, let me take that back. I feel like the entire game it will be within a touchdown, but I honestly see Texas beating Oklahoma by a field goal. I don't see like the touchdown spread hitting, just my personal opinion. Just looking at the stats and whatnot, and then the history between these two teams, I think Oklahoma +6.5 is the play here.
Interesting take. I mean, it wouldn't be a sports podcast if we didn't have both sides of the argument. So I like that you at least hopped on the other side there, Gare. Next game, number 11, Alabama, Texas A&M. Only a 1 point spread favoring Alabama. Over under set at 46. Gare, let's let you kick this one off.
First of all, fuck Alabama. Fuck Nick Saban. I'm so glad that this ship is going down in a fucking fiery pit of flames. As a Gator fan through and through, I mean, you love to see Alabama just shit in their pants every week. You love to see Nick Saban gripping the 6 strands of hair he has left on top of his head. Personally, let me see here. You got a 2.5 point spread. I'm hammering A&M, which I guess doesn't seem necessarily smart, but fuck Alabama. I hate Alabama. I mean, that's just it. I'm taking the spread +2.5.
Great rationale there, Gare. Glad you brought all your knowledge to the podcast.
Really
I hate Alabama.
Can't beat it.
Genius. All right, Art, what you got?
Honestly, we'll have to agree with Gare here on taking Texas A&M, not necessarily because fuck Alabama, but because I do think the matchup favors Texas A&M slightly here, and the reason for me, it's Jalen Milroe has been really as much as I've watched him, and it hasn't been a whole lot. I've been able to see him, for maybe like a few quarters each game, but he's really torching bad defenses. But when he faces somebody that's a little more competent, he has to make his reads. He's got to have a little bit more time in the pocket to have these plays develop downfield. He is nowhere near as good. And a lot of it is not his fault. The Alabama offensive line sucks this year. They're giving up sacks at a ridiculous rate. So for me, Texas A&M, their defense is going to be the best that I think Alabama's played all year. That could be a hot take. Who knows? But I know Texas A&M. They got torched a little bit by Miami. They got thrown around a little bit in that game, but they got a ton of talent on that defensive side. I think the trenches are going to favor Texas A&M on the defensive side here. But this one's going to be really close. Taking Texas A&M plus 1.5 is definitely a little risky here, and you feel like you're going against everything that you know with how well Alabama has been over the past decade. But this isn't the past decade. This is this year. Alabama has not been playing up to the standard they've been at. So I'll agree with you, Gary. I'll probably take Texas A&M in this one, and under, not a bad play, I think, in my opinion, either. Alabama's defense is great as well, and with a backup QB, Max Johnson, I think his name is, behind Connor Wigman for Texas A&M. I know he likes to air the ball out a little bit more, but Alabama's secondary is really nice. Kool-Aid McKinstry back there knows what's up. They do not target that man. So I could definitely see this being an under game. Under 46.5, though, it's a tad low. I might want to see if that number shifts at all. I'd be interested to see what it would be if you buy it up maybe a point or two to get to 48.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. I'm gonna wait till that shifts just to see kind of, if I get a more favorable bet out of this. But I'm taking Texas A&M, and you guys both brought up good point. Well, Holmes, you brought up good points. Um, the answer is Kyle Field. That stadium's going to be absolutely electric against Bama. You will not hear a noise like that unless you're in the swamp. So that's my rationale for Texas A&M. I agree with all your points, Holmes, because it is true that that's the reason why. But this crowd, man, there may not be a louder crowd on Saturday. That's for sure.
True.
Next big game, even though it doesn't seem like a big game, Florida State, Virginia Tech. I want to talk this game because it is kind of a rivalry matchup, despite the spread a little bit, 23.5, over under 52. But it's one of those games. It's a trap game. And Florida State's been known to play down to teams that are not on their level. So I definitely think Virginia Tech's going to cover this spread. As far as the over-under, I may stay away from this one. Not too sure how I feel about it yet. Probably bet something on Saturday, but I don't know, man. Florida State struggles against these bad teams. So I'll let one of you take over from there.
Got it, Gary?
No, Holmes, you go first.
All right, man. Well, this is a game I feel like I couldn't really get a good read on either. I kind of agree with you, Mondo. Florida State's been playing a little bit up and down in their competition this year, especially that Boston College game. I mean, I remember the spread was pretty similar to what it is now. Maybe, if not a little bigger, maybe like minus 27.5 that game was. And, the way Florida State played the first couple of games, you're like, oh, dude, you're going to beat the brakes off of Boston College. And I think they won by a field goal. I have to go back and look at that score, but that game was a lot closer than it ever should have been. That game haunts me. That is just exactly what I think about when we're going into this game is, are they going to be able to actually overpower Virginia Tech the way that they should? They have immensely more talent than they do, but it's just up to whether they're going to be able to step up to the task and get it done. I mean, they are at home, the Doak. That's a fantastic home field atmosphere. So it's really tough. I probably will stay away from this game as well, but I might lean Virginia Tech. I do like your point about Florida State playing down to their competition.
Yeah, what's the rationale here?
I think the best bet here is taking the Virginia spread, the plus 25. And my reasoning behind this is just because FSU is coming out of a bye week this week. And I don't really think that. First of all, again, like I said with Alabama, fuck FSU. I hate them. I'm not gonna leave that as my final rationale.
Oh boy.
But FSU is currently undefeated again. They're 4-0. It's the second season starting off as 4-0. But if you look at Virginia last weekend, their quarterback put up 5 tutties over Pitt. I don't think that's something to play around with. FSU came into the season, everybody's like, oh my God, they're him. Like they're gonna be, they got a natty chance. I just don't really see them. I do see them winning this game. I just don't see it being a blowout like the lines are predicting. So for this bet, I'm going to take Virginia plus 25.
I think that's a great pick. And just so everyone knows, we're all using different sites. So our spreads, our over-unders are all a little bit different right now. That's gonna get ironed out. We're gonna pick a set website in the future, but just so you know. All right, let's talk about the game we've been wanting to talk about. It's not a big game by any means, but it's big for us. Florida Vanderbilt. This time I'm using the rationale. Fuck Vanderbilt. Give me Florida money line. Give me the spread. Give me the over. I want to dominate these walk in a single line, storm the field pussies. Okay. Vanderbilt's a soft ass school. I want to smoke them. I want to obliterate them. Billy is not going to come off the embarrassment from last weekend and put up a goose egg against Vanderbilt. We are here to dominate. We are here to prove that we do not suck as bad as we've been showing we've been sucking. Okay. Give me everything with Florida. That's all I care about. That's all I want to bet. I know it's a stupid ass way to bet, but my heart's in the right place here. So
Yeah. I don't know, dude. My Gators, watching every game every weekend is just a heart attack waiting to happen. And it's sad because it's just like, I don't know, with Graham Mertz, you're banking on the Ricky Pearsall connection every time if you want a completed pass. And it just shouldn't be like that. And then last weekend versus Kentucky, which is a game that should never be spoken about again. Just simply not being able to stop the run. Um, I don't know. Billy, if you're watching this, bro, please tighten up. Please stop going into these press conferences talking about recruiting and they're young and they need time. No, we need y'all right now to tighten up and change this season around. Right now we're 3-2, Vandy's 2-4. I mean, well, I just don't even know what to say about it. Like Mondo said, I'm hammering everything Florida. I mean, minus 18.5 is a little steep. Just based upon how we've been playing recently. I think the only team that we've really put up numbers like that are Tennessee, and then we had Charleston. Charleston, like that's literally a high school, so there were really no surprises there. So honestly, I might take Vandy plus 18.5 this game, even though I'm a Gator through and through. I just don't see UF pulling off like that at any point during the game. I honestly see us starting off down like we have literally every single game this season and then coming back out of nowhere. So I'm gonna take Vandy plus 8.5 here. Money line is minus 1100. You're gonna have to bet Madden units to make a profit there. So personally, I would take Vandy plus 8.5 and then under 52.5 for the total.
okay. You guys want to kind of go rapid fire here? All right. Colorado Sanders versus Arizona State. 3.5 point spread favoring Colorado over under 59.5. Give me Colorado to cover. Give me the over.
I'm actually going to go the other way. I think this game is a trap. Colorado should not be only minus 3.5 at Arizona State. Arizona State's actually played a little bit better than they were expected to this year. They've gotten their fair share of injuries that have really hurt the offense, but they're kind of making it work with a lot of backups, and this line just seems a little fishy to me. So I'd probably go with Arizona 3 and a hook.
I'm taking Colorado this game. just because that's 2 L's in a week. I don't think prime time is fucking with that personally. Last game, obviously, he came into that one a little bit more humble than he was the game before against Oregon. But I would take Colorado spread here and give me the over just because last week I want to say the combined total of Colorado and who did they play last week?
USC.
Yeah, Colorado USC was a lot closer than a lot of people thought it was going to be. I think both teams total ended up putting up like damn near 90 points combined. So I would take Colorado spread and the over for that game.
Okay. Georgia, Kentucky. Georgia favored by 15, over under 47 and a half. Where are we leaning, boys?
This
Georgia.
is another book is trying to trap you game. They desperately want you to take Kentucky. Kentucky's coming off of a great win at home against Florida. Absolutely blew their doors off. Nobody thought they were going to do it. And Georgia just came from a game actually looking pretty disappointing against Auburn. They let Auburn hang around pretty much the whole game. Let up a ton of rushing yards to their quarterback. If you don't think Georgia's coming home and trying to put it on Kentucky, I think you're dead wrong. So I'm taking Georgia in the points there for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
right there
I
with
mean,
you, Holmes.
yeah. I mean, I have nothing more to say on that. Georgia is just fuck Georgia. Another one of those teams that I'm gonna say fuck you to, but they're them and there's really nothing anybody can do about it. So taking Georgia in that one.
All right, 7:30 game. Notre Dame, Louisville. Notre Dame being number 10. My boy Sam Hartman's been balling this year. Louisville, number 25, 6.5 point spread, favoring Notre Dame, over under 54. Give me Notre Dame. I think it's going to be an easy lock. I think Sam Hartman, this is going to be his Heisman performance. He's going to absolutely ball out this game. I don't think Louisville deserves to be ranked. I think Kentucky's a lot better than them. With that being said, I'm going to go with the over. I don't think that Notre Dame's defense is all that. I think that they're still going to let up a lot of points, but behind that offense, they're going to win. So,
Gary, what you got?
I mean, their QB last time I checked just cut his luscious locks off. So RIP to the locks. But I definitely would take Notre Dame this week. A lot of people were bagging on us last week for taking Notre Dame. And they kind of just proved everybody wrong. On the other hand of that, Louisville is undefeated right now. They've been kind of hot right now. Now they're in the top 25. RIP to the Gators being in the top 25. Um, but yeah, honestly, I'm taking Notre Dame here. The spread though, it's a little tight for me, so I might stay away from that. I might just stick with Notre Dame money line for this game.
cool. All right, I think that's going to wrap up the major games that we
Wait,
wanted to talk about. What you got,
before
Holmes?
that, I am going against you, Mondo. I have the official play on Louisville +7. I already put it in earlier this week. I'm going Louisville. I'll give you some rationale. Notre Dame just played 2 exhausting games in a row, back-to-back weeks. At home against Ohio State coming in, and you lose a heartbreaker by 3 points. Ohio State goes down, scores a touchdown, last drive of the game, boom, game over. Then the next week, they have to absolutely battle. And then they have to come back from behind to beat Duke in a crazy game at Duke. Now they have to go travel to Louisville. Louisville's had an extra day of rest because they played on Friday night last week. So they'll get that extra 24 hours. I think Louisville is live to win this game. You come back to this if Louisville wins this game. I am going to tell you. I think
All
this
right.
is definitely a spot. Notre Dame could be vulnerable. I like Louisville here and give me the touchdown.
All right, Holmes. Gary, you see that? That's rationale, not the fuck Bama. Fuck
Hey
Bama
man,
is not rationale.
whenever you do a short answer exam in class, some people like to give you the actual answer. Some people just like to sugarcoat it. I'm gonna give you the actual answer and no sugarcoating. Fuck them. That's just
I don't know if you know what sugarcoat means, but okay. Let's move on to
everybody.
NFL. Um, A lot of good games this weekend. Thursday night football is kind of horse shit. Bears at Commanders, 6 point spread in favor of the Commanders, over under 44 and a half. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I fucking hate this game. I really don't want to even talk about it. It's gonna bore the hell out of me. I may fall asleep during it. So I'll kind of let you guys take over. I really don't even want to talk about it. So
Big poop bowl game, man. Quick rationale: you cannot bet on the Bears right now. Cannot bet on the Bears. So if you're taking anything, take the Commanders and leave.
Yeah, bad news Bears. Ain't shit good about them. I tell our buddy Lip that every single weekend whenever he tries to dog on me for the Bucks. Honestly, this shit kind of pisses me off because I feel like every Thursday night game has been a miss. Like, who was it last week? It was like Steelers. Who played last Thursday? Anyways, doesn't matter.
the
Um,
Packers Lions.
yeah, every Thursday game has just been disappointing. Also, every Thursday game has just been super low scoring. So I would take the under here. And then, of course, Commanders. I mean, you got to. I mean, Bears just can't seem to get anything to click right now. So yeah.
Bro, I think there's a bird in my roof.
Ooh, that would be bad.
That's fucking loud as shit, bro. We go over to the London Jags Bills.
Ooh.
Bills favorite 5.5, over under 48. Fuck it. I'm gonna take the Jags, bro. I'm gonna take the Jags. Take the spread there. They've been in London for over a week now. They're comfortable. They're right where they need to be. Bills are gonna be flying in. Sleep schedule is gonna be all fucked. I went to London earlier this year. You don't recover. It gets even worse throughout the week. Do I think it's gonna be a high scoring game? Hell yeah, I do. But I I don't know. Something's telling me this is a Jags upset waiting to happen. So I'm gonna go Jags plus 5.5.
Yeah, I could be on that same wave. Jags play in London a lot. Like they play internationally so much. I mean,
I
this is already
think
our
this
second
is
game this
their
year.
11th
You know,
time this week.
yeah, seriously. I mean, I don't like the 5.5 though. That's what I have right now. I really hate that number. If it was up to 7.5, I'd definitely take the Jags too. But I don't know. I might have to wait on that line to shake out a little bit. The Bills have just also looked really, really good so far this season.
Mhm.
Aside from that overtime loss to the Jets, a little fluky, honestly, with the punt return. But since then, they've been crushing teams. They look really nice. Josh Allen's kind of dialed in with Stephon Diggs right now. So that's a tough game for me too. I'll probably have to wait on that number a little bit.
Yeah, and Garrett, before you go into it, a lot of these bets are going to be changing once we get to Saturday for college, Sunday for NFL. The lines are going to shift a lot, so we're going to adjust from there. Um, if you want to stay up to date, go to our Twitter at Unbettable. It'll have every single pick that we're going to cover, including my Mondo anytime action, where I list out a bunch of players who are going to have an anytime touchdown. I think I went what 4 for 6 last week. So
Yeah.
not too bad for the first week of doing it. But go to at Unbettable on Twitter. You'll have all your picks and just bet from there. So, all right, Garrett, go ahead.
Yeah, personally, this week, first of all, I just want to talk about the Toy Story game last weekend with Jags. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
Bro.
FaceTime Mondo just so he could watch it. Um, Good shit NFL for doing that. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Awesome.
But besides that, this game I'm taking Buffalo. I might hurt Mondo's heart a little bit with this one, but their performance last weekend against the Dolphins, which is pretty nutty to say the least, 48-20. And it's sad because like the Dolphins definitely are like in contention this year. So the Bills kind of doing that to them definitely shows that they are here to play and here to win. And then I'm just looking at like the past 5 matchups versus Jacksonville. Buffalo's 3-2 against them. And we brought up this point about Jacksonville kind of being there for a week. I don't really think that gives them like an unfair advantage. I mean, I guess with the time shift, whatever. But at the end of the day, like these players are coming to play. Um, and Josh Allen's just kind of been unstoppable this year. So I am taking Buffalo this game. I think that spread is a little shaky, the 5.5. If you're gonna take it, I would definitely take it in Buffalo's favor. Just my opinion. And then the over under here, I don't know. That's something that I don't really like. 48.5. That's kind of just one of those numbers your books will throw at you. Hoping you bet the over when it's usually going to be under. So I'm going to say under in this case, under 48.5.
And Gary, I think that's a fair bet. The Lunder is definitely what's been hitting whenever teams go overseas. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I'm gonna take the under too. Let's hit the 1 o'clock slate. We got Ravens at Steelers kicking it off. Ravens favored by 4, over under set at 37.5. Who wants to start it here?
Oh man, this is kind of a tough game too, dude. I mean, I feel like easy on the outside because the Ravens got a nice win last week against a pretty awful Browns team with pretty much no quarterback last week. I mean, DTR just wasn't able to move that offense. And the Steelers, I mean, getting swamped by the Texans. I mean, Texans coming out of nowhere. How about this team? I don't know. This line feels a little fishy to me as well. The Steelers, I feel like they should. I feel like this is a bounce back spot for the Steelers coming back home against a divisional opponent. I think they're gonna have a fire under their ass lit by Mike Tomlin. So I could lean Steelers here. I don't really have a play on the over under though. I couldn't really see how that one's gonna shake out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really like fuck with either of these teams, especially the Steelers. Like, I think the Steelers are sorry as fuck. I mean, you watch them play every week and it's just kind of like underwhelming. I mean, of course, the Ravens are always exciting to watch when you have a quarterback. Like, holy shit, I just blanked so hard. That's awesome. But for
Nothing
this
new for
game,
you
I
then.
honestly don't have many picks. I mean, what even is the spread that I'm looking at here? Ravens -4.5. Um, I don't really like any of these odds. I mean, you have the Ravens -225 for the line, over under 38.5. I would take Ravens spread here, just because that's just how I see it playing out. This is one of those games where I just don't have much to say about it. It's just kind of like at a surface level. I would take Ravens 4.5, and I would take under 38.5.
Yeah, it's another one of those games that, unless it pops up on red zone, I'm not really gonna follow it all.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens are a safe bet. I really just don't trust that Steelers offense. No matter what they've been kind of doing, I just don't trust it. I don't think it's going to last. I think the only bet I'd take is the Ravens to cover. Let's hop into the next game. Panthers at Lions. 10 points favoring Detroit, over under 44.5. Holmes, kick us off here.
I mean, I got Lions -9. Yeah, I'll probably end up rolling with that. Panthers is just not a good team. Lions have looked pretty damn good so far this season. The defense has actually looked a lot better, which is great. Aiden Hutchinson is just a beast for that defensive line. I mean, he is wreaking havoc on the quarterback. I mean, he's going to be all over Bryce Young in this game. So I see this as an easy at least 10-point win for the Lions.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Lions have been rolling this year. And a little side quest that so in my neighborhood, we have this guy named Pat who's a diehard Lions fan. And for the past few years, he's been saying if the Lions win the chip, he's gonna get a tramp stamp. Man is 50 years old, so I would love to see that happen. I think that'd be hilarious. So every week I'm banking on Lions to take home an easy dub. And I think this weekend is going to be an easy dub for them. Like Holmes was saying, Panthers are just kind of ass this year, which sucks because, there's really nothing you can do about it. Carolina ended up winning last year against the Lions, but I think the Lions that they're playing this year are a completely different team. So for this game, I'm taking, give me a second, trying to pull up the lines here. You got Lions -9. I think that's a lock. Over under 45. These over unders, man, they're getting tricky. I'm gonna say over 45 for this game.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go opposite of you, Gary. I'm gonna take the under. Reason why I don't see the Panthers putting up much more than 10 points, to be honest. They have no weapons, they have no ability to get down the field, no offensive line. You could just go on and on. I think Detroit's gonna take it a little easier, knowing that they're playing the Panthers. I don't think it's gonna be, all gas, no breaks this week. So give me the
Yeah.
under for that. Um, Big news just came out of the MLB, though. The Twins just ended their 21-year drought. They've officially eliminated the Blue Jays and are headed to a first playoff series. I guess the first win that they've had since 2002. So,
Crazy.
congrats to the Twins. I'm sure there'll be a couple bets in the future. Stay tuned for that on next episode. But until then, Texans, Falcons, another shitter of a matchup. Can't wait to not watch this game. Give me the Falcons to fuck, I don't even know. I can't even trust this game. I'm gonna have to wait till the spreads kind of adjust and all the lines change. I this is the one I don't know. So whoever wants to go next, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, why the hell are the Texans catching 2 points after they just blew out the Steelers
I don't know.
last week? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the Texans really do seem like the play here, but we've been talking about traps a lot. Like, they might really be trying to bait us and be like, "Oh, Texans, they played so well last week. Aren't they so good?" Ah, man, that's such a tricky one. Probably a game I would stay away from right now. I don't want to touch that line. Too stinky for me.
Gare?
I don't know. Honestly, the only take I have here is I would take Texans money line. Currently it's at plus 105. Make a little bang for your buck in this case. I think the Falcons just kind of have been underperforming this year. And like we were talking about last week, Texans are riding high with this big dub they took. But that spread is disgusting, -1.5. Like I've never seen a spread like, or I mean I have, but not in a while. And then again with this 40 something point over under, shit is kind of pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. The only bet I would take in this game is Texans plus 105.
Okay. Let's move it on. Kansas City Chiefs at Minnesota Vikings. This is going to be the easiest lock of the week. Give me the Chiefs to easily cover. They're not going to have a repeat performance on how bad it was last week, especially with all this Taylor Swift hype around them, all these outside noises. It's not going to matter. They're going to step it up. Patrick Mahomes quite literally played the worst he's ever played in his entire career, and they still won. Give me the Chiefs to easily cover this. Gare?
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs, bro, like this is just one of those teams where, you expect them to play well, and even when they don't, they still find a way to pull it out of their ass. But I don't know. I thought the disrespect that Patty was dishing out last week to the Jets was mad disrespectful to say the least. Trotting down to the 1 yard line and sticking the ball up in the air and just flicking it. I honestly ended up taking the Jets money line that game, halfway through the game just because I saw it happening. So whenever Patty comes around, he's like that kind of pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie, because that's when I knew the shit was wraps. But this year, Minnesota, I mean, I watch the games every weekend because Sean, of course, is a big Minnesota guy. I love dogging on him for it because honestly, they're pretty fucking ass this year. I mean, if Kirk isn't connecting with Jetta, they're not moving the ball anywhere. I just think the Chiefs have too many weapons in this case, so I would take Chiefs spread. Um, over under 53. I I don't know, man. I'm gonna say over 53. Yeah, and those are my picks. Chiefs spread over 53.
Holmes.
Yeah, I don't think I got much else to add there. Chiefs -4. I'm leaning that as well. I couldn't see a reason why the Chiefs don't cover. Vikings looked so bad, even though they're at home. Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're rolling. So I got to take the 4 there too. I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hit yet another shitter in our slate. Saints at Patriots, the lighthouse game. Nobody cares about it. They both suck. Not fun. Saints are being given a point over under 39 and a half. I'm going to take the Saints. Like, it's the Patriots just suck, man. They really do. I know they just traded for a corner, but uh, there's only so much you can do when your quarterback has the IQ of a cork. So there's not much else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most exciting part of this game is going to be seeing who Belichick starts as QB. Everybody knows Mac Jones I mean, he threw like 2 picks back to back. What was it last game? Then they ended up throwing in Bailey Zapp. I remember Zapp from last year. Man's pretty ass. Mac Jones is pretty ass too. So I would take Patriots spread or not Patriots. Sorry about that. Saints spread in this case. I mean it's like what Patriots are at -1.5. I would take the Saints. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Saints are also +105 for this game, so like a solo bang for your buck. This over under again, 39.5. I'm gonna take under. Both teams' offenses are just really not there this year. So I think it's gonna be one of those games where you're, taking a nap if you are watching it. So I'm gonna go under 39.5. Saints +105.
Okay.
Yeah, probably lean Saints as well, especially for the plus value there. I'm probably with you too, Gare, on the under. I don't really like the way the offenses are moving the ball or not moving the ball really. I mean, both defenses are honestly not too bad, but yeah, I just don't really see a lot of scoring in this game. These teams have not really lived up to any great expectations so far this season.
Well, we move from one shitter to another as the Titans take on the Colts. Titans favored 2.5, over under at 43. I mean, you got Jonathan Taylor coming back to this young offense. I kind of want to see where the lines get to when you get to Sunday. Because I think this is truthfully a coin flip. I do think it'll be the over. Both defenses are horrible. So I'm gonna take an easy over 43. I think it's a pretty safe bet, but I'll send it over to Hart. So what you got?
Yeah, I'll probably take the Colts at home here on the money line. They're +105 again. I mean, I think that's great value you get there. I don't believe in the Titans whatsoever. Their offense is horrible. I literally don't know how they. I don't know. I have no idea how they beat the Bengals last week, right? I'm not tripping on that.
It
Yeah,
was a
I don't know
big,
how they did that.
big
Yeah,
win.
I have no idea how they did that. It was just I don't know. I don't really believe in that team whatsoever. I'm actually trying to look. I mean, Anthony Richardson is +125 for a rushing touchdown. Like, dude, he's had one in every game so far this year.
A
I will
lot.
probably jump on that because I don't think there's any way that stays at plus money the way he's been running in that offense. So I would probably look at that and yeah, honestly, grab a couple of good money, good value plus money bets on this game. I think Colts money line at home. I think that's great to have, and then AR rushing a touchdown at home. I really like that value too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with Holmes. Before he even started talking, the only thing on my mind is AR anytime touchdown.
Yeah, dude.
One of the Gator greats. I love to see him doing great. Kind of a shame that he knocked his brain around a little bit this early into his career. You hate to see that. But the spread, It's another one of those stupid ass spreads, -1. I mean, like, what even is that? So for this
Pick 'em.
game, I mean, the only bet I would take personally is AR anytime rushing touchdown.
So you guys talked on it. I'm gonna confirm it. Mondo's anytime action. The first player that is on there is AR. He will be on the list this weekend. Make sure you bet him. Just trust. All three of us just agreed on that. Just trust.
Yeah, no bias whatsoever.
All right. Giants at Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 11.5. Over under at 48.5. Daniel Jones sucks. Babel sucks. Dolphins are an easy lock. Are they going to cover the spread? Probably. I mean, the Giants don't know how to score. Do I want to wait to see what it gets to on Sunday? Yeah, I kind of do. However, Tyreek anytime TD also on the list.
Nice.
For this one, I mean, obviously the Dolphins, I think, are just gonna just absolutely destroy the Giants. The Giants are currently the only team in the NFL to not score a tutty in the first half. So if you're a Giants fan, like, get your fucking eye drops ready because your eyes are just gonna be bleeding by the time you get done watching this offense.
Shout out to Beef.
Personally, New York +11. No, I'm not taking that. I'm taking Dolphins -11 because I think they're absolutely gonna walk this team. Um, for the point, 48.5. I mean, the thing is with this bet is if it does reach that over, it's gonna be Dolphins for 75% of that scoring. So personally, I would take the under for the total. And then to add on to Mondo's anytime action. Excuse me if I butcher this name, but what's his name? Achane, however you say that name.
A
Von
chain.
A Chain. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, A-Chain, whatever you want to call him. I would take him anytime tutty. I mean, how many tutties has he scored in the last 2 games? 3, 4?
A good amount. A good
Yeah.
amount, Gary.
I ended up adding him onto my roster for my fantasy team in one of my leagues. Just because he's him. So I would take him anytime tutty.
10 out of 10 rationale. He is, in fact, him.
That's fair. I'll honestly probably take the Dolphins at the half. I exactly for that stat you said, Gare. Their Giants are horrible in the first half. I don't know if it was the first half or the first quarter that they haven't scored a touchdown in, but either way, I think taking I have Dolphins -6.5 at the half for -145, but I also might try to look at -7. That's -120. I think the push there and you get much better value on the line. At the half, I really like that. I think Dolphins can really get off to a hot start there and just put it on the Giants early. That's why I don't really want to touch the total because I have no idea if what do they put up 35 points in the first half. Giants score 7, Dolphins don't score anymore. Boom, it goes under. Like I don't know. That just seems like something I want to mess with.
Yeah. I like that. First half action, I think, regardless of which way the line shift, it's pretty safe to say the Giants don't know how to score early in the game. Fins up. You already know. We're coming for you. Super Bowl this year. You heard it here. Bengals at Cardinals. Bengals favored by 3 somehow. Over under 44.5. So with this one, I'm a little hesitant because there is a chance Joe Burrow sits down for this game to try and rest up that calf injury. It hasn't been reported a lot, but there is talks about it. So I'm a little hesitant to even bet at all right now, especially with the spread being as close as it is. I think the Cardinals are a hell of a come up team. Do I think that they're going to beat the Bengals? Probably not. I think Jamar Chase is going to go out, do his thing. He had comments after the last game. I think he's sick of the way that they're playing. I think that they're going to come out and ball. I'm just a little hesitant because of the Joe Burrow situation, though.
Yeah. I mean, both these teams right now are 1-3. Cardinals, that's kind of expected, but the Bengals, man, like giving it a Super Bowl run last year, and then this year it's just I feel bad almost for Joe Burrow because I just feel like he's just not moving like he could.
Hmm.
Our buddy Jackson Vaughn, every week I talk to him and he's just fucking in tears because of how bad this team is. So for that reason, I would like to take Bengals winning this game. I would also like to take Jamar Chase anytime tutty, just because I feel like he's due. I mean, the last couple of weeks he just hasn't been himself, but it's simply because he can't get the ball in his hands because Joe Burrow is just not there physically. I wouldn't say mentally he's not there, but physically he's just he can't move. Like, that pocket starts collapsing, he's just fucked because I mean, if he tries to escape it, he's just going to activate that injury even more. So like Mondo said, there is a good chance he might sit down this week just because it's kind of one of those games where it's like I feel like they don't necessarily need him. So I would take Bengals -3 for this game and then Jamar Chase anytime tutty for this one.
I think the Jamar Chase play is actually kind of nice. I mean, I think he is due as well. Dude has not been himself, but I mean, neither is Joe Burrow. He is definitely not 100% healthy. You can just tell. Like you said, Gary, he's not moving around at all. I think his average yards per attempt is somewhere around 4 or 5 yards per throw. I mean, that's one of the lowest in the NFL. He is trying to get it out quick. The offensive line is bad. And honestly, I'm gonna ride with Cardinals +3, dude. +3 at home. Arizona's been playing like a bunch of dogs this season. I mean, Josh Dobbs, how about that guy coming out of nowhere, trying to lead these Cardinals to actually do something every week? Like, dude, we thought this was like the easiest team in the world to just tank. Caleb Williams next year, boom, do whatever you want to do with the first pick. But they're actually trying to play. I mean, they should have beat the Giants. Giants had a massive second half comeback. They beat the Cowboys, one of the best teams in the NFC through the first couple weeks. I mean, you get blown out by the 49ers. Realistically, who isn't getting blown out by the 49ers right now? So I think +3 is really nice. The Bengals are just struggling so hard. I know they're going to be scrappy and do whatever they can to win this game, but I could definitely see it falling within a field goal.
Hmm. So this next matchup is one of the two games later on in the day that I kind of think is going to be great. Eagles at Rams. Cooper Cup's back. You got Puka, who's been balling. You got the running back who I blanking on the name, Williams, but he's been balling.
Kyron Williams.
Eagles are doing their thing. 4.5 to the Eagles, kind of wild. Over under 51. This is another one that I kind of want to wait. I don't know, man. I'm definitely not doing the Jalen Hurts anytime TD. They got Aaron Donald up front on the other side. That ain't happening again. Um, I'll probably take the under 51. I think it'll be cool having, Cup and Nakua on the field, but that Eagles defense is filthy, man. And
Mm-hmm.
the Rams are up there too. So I'm gonna take under 51. I don't think it'll be quite the shootout that everyone thinks it is. But I'm gonna stay away from picking someone for now.
To be
Yeah, I mean,
honest,
go
go
ahead.
Gary.
My bad.
I was just gonna say, man, I don't have really much of a read on this game either. I really do want to take Eagles, but I don't like the 4.5 number at all. Um, I think it's gonna be probably a little closer than people expect too. I could be totally wrong, but man, the total, the spread, I don't really want to touch this game. I might have to wait like you, Mondo, see if a nicer number shakes out if we get any type of movement on this line, but man, that's just not what I'm looking into right now.
Mm-hmm. Gare?
I mean, I feel like this game will definitely. I'm taking the over on this game. I really just like. I don't know. I feel like the Rams really have something to play for here. I'm looking at the stats right now. Philly has beat LA the last 5 times they played them. I mean, for anybody that's got to leave a little bit of a nasty taste in your mouth. And like Mondo said, with Cooper Cup coming back, I don't know. I just feel like the Rams if the Rams can get clicking, like I definitely think they have a chance against Philly here. They have so many key like all-star players that anybody would be, very fortunate to have. It's just whether or not they can perform. Um, but yeah, I mean these odds are just kind of I don't know, man. Like what is the NFL doing this week? They're kind of gross. LA +4, that's just kind of like a goofy ass number. Like I wouldn't really touch that. I would take over 50.5 though. I could definitely see this game being, I wouldn't say high scoring, but it's going to be up there. Um, and then I'm going to take LA money line in this case. That's just how I'm feeling about it. So,
All right. This next game we could skip if you want. Jets Broncos.
Hoot Bowl.
Do we really want to talk about it?
I have
I think
nothing on
that's
this game.
I think
fine.
Zach Wilson's gonna have a hell of a game just based on what happened last week. I think they're gonna let him throw it around. But other than that, I really don't care. This game sucks. It happens to be the only one at 425 this week. Kind of weird, but is what it is.
Nah, Kansas City, Minnesota is at 425.
Are they?
Yeah.
I have them at 1 on here.
Oh, I got them at 425 on my book
Dude,
right
what the
here.
fuck?
Let me check ESPN
Bovada
too.
needs to update their shit then.
Yeah,
Full time.
425 on the ESPN app.
Fucking Bovada, man.
Can't trust
Don't
them.
use Bovada. I'm not gonna use these guys next week. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Um, Cowboys and Niners, Sunday night football. Pretty hype. Gonna be a good ass game. Give me the Niners. They're gonna cover the 3.5 point spread easily. They may bench their team the second half. Like they're just that good this year. They're quite literally unstoppable. Debo's been a hell of a honestly decoy. Ayuk's been balling. I mean, even then, Debo's still balling. McCaffrey, unbelievable this year. And Purdy just does his job managing the game with Kittle doing his job at being a great tight end. Honestly, all around, Niners are going to be the team definitely to beat this year in the NFC between them and the Eagles. Give me them, cover the spread. Over under, I'm going to take the under 45. I don't think it'll be quite as high scoring, even in prime time. Both defenses are pretty good, so that's kind of where I'm hesitant, but I think my lock for this game is 49ers 3.5 cover.
Yeah, I agree with that. You look at the Cowboys the last couple weeks. I want to say it's like damn near 75% of their total points are coming from defensive scores. And I just don't think that's going to happen against the Niners. What are they? They've won damn near 14, 15 games in a row right now. They're on a roll. McCaffrey's in the running for MVP consideration. Um, I just think that honestly, like I could see the Niners taking it very far this season. I would take Niners -3.5. I think that's a lock and a half. That's just like I mean the Cowboys. They're not scoring offensively, and they're damn sure not going to score defensively this week. Over under 45. I'm gonna say under 45 just because of my point with the Cowboys. Their offense really isn't clicking like that. Um, and then to add on to Mondo's anytime action, I've been riding this literally every week and it's been paying me. Christian McCaffrey, anytime tutty. I mean, you have to like it's gonna happen whether you like it or not. McCaffrey's taking that ball to the crib every game. So give me that as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really have a side here. I mean, I could be convinced to lean 49ers with you guys, but I'll probably take the under too. I think both defenses are really nasty this season, even the Cowboys. I mean, their front is just really nice and they can get after their quarterback a little bit, but 49ers have just looked unbeatable. I mean, literally, they've looked too good. And what you were saying about Brandon Ayuk, that guy's been balling this year. Yeah, I've loved watching him play. And I think I'm going to take his receiving prop this week over 55.5. I think that's a little too low for him, -120. Trayvon Diggs is not playing for the Cowboys, out for the year. I think the Cowboys secondary is obviously weaker without him. And I love Brandon Ayuk to be able to get 70, 80 yards with Purdy. Might even cash that in the first half, but I like the over 55.5 there. I think he can easily clear that.
All right, let's wrap it up. Packers at Raiders. Not really a shitter, not really a great game, just a game. Monday Night Football prime time. You kind of wish for a better matchup, but Packers haven't been too bad this year with the absence of Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love's come in, kind of done his thing, built it up a little bit. Raiders are coming off a couple weeks where they've just been down in the dumps. They're really sick of losing. Packers are favored by 1. I'm going to actually take the Raiders in this game. Over under 45.5. I'd probably take the over just because I think that there's absolutely no defense on either team. So yeah, Raiders +1 over. That's kind of where I'm sitting.
I'll probably take the Packers here and pick them. I mean, it's really hard. Raiders at home, Packers on the road. I feel like I just believe in the Packers a little bit more. They have really looked bad at times. They've also really looked good at times too. I think they really need a bounce back win after getting shelled by the Lions in prime time. Tough game to pick, but I'll probably lean Packers money line there.
Care?
Yeah. I agree with Holmes here. Packers line looks really good. Just because I feel like Jordan Love is due for his kind of like breakout game. Like I feel like, the cheeseheads really aren't fucking with this guy right now. Like he's all right. I mean, Packers are 2-2, but like they could definitely be better. Um, yeah, I would take Packers line here. The over under 44.5. I think this game is going to be kind of lame when it comes to scoring, so I'm going to go under 44.5.
Okay. Well, that takes us through all the slates. I guess unless you guys have anything else to add, I can do the outro.
Yeah, man, just keep in mind we are not professionals. We are probably as amateur as you can get at sports betting. So if we get anything wrong, please feel free to chirp us. We're going to get shit wrong. But if we get shit right, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we'll know and we'll feel good about it.
Gare?
Yeah. Like Holmes said, I mean, this is gambling. I mean, yes, we are using statistics to back our gambling.
Yeah,
Some of
fuck
us more than
Bama.
others. Me, I like to just say fuck them, and that's just how I feel about it. Um, but yeah, I kind of just want to do a shameless plug here. I've been working with a guy, and he works for a company known as Lock Spread. It's kind of like what you see with Prize Picks, where you're betting player props. Um, but yeah, we have a lot of good promos coming out when it comes to signing up. Use my referral code and you get access to all of these promos. We got matching every deposit up to $100. You get a $5 credit upon signing up. So essentially you get some free play in there. See if you really like the website. Also gives you an opportunity to reach out to us and see what we can kind of tweak around the website. Another big lock. This weekend we have Justin Fields free square. So immediately you should be taking that. And yeah, and if you guys are college students like me, I mean these two aren't anymore. It's really catered to us. Very user-friendly app. Great way to get into it if you aren't already into it. So yeah, lock spread. I'm gonna be posting that on the Twitter. Make sure y'all check that out. Got a lot of great promos going on. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So I'll take us out here. Obviously the name of the podcast is Unbettable. Do with that as you will. We are not professional. We are not unprofessional. We make picks based on what we think. It is what it is. But if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Please let us know any segment ideas. We're trying to brainstorm. Obviously, this episode was focused on just getting picks out there. It'll be a lot more interactive, a lot more entertaining in the coming weeks. We're just working on building it out, but we will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.